What are property taxes like in Williamson County in Tennessee? That is what we are talking about in today's video. Everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin Martin and I am a local Nashville real estate agent, and I specialize in helping savvy sellers who want to sell right and sell smart, as well as helping out-of-staters relocate to the Middle Tennessee area. If this is your first time stopping by my channel, thank you so much. Please feel free to click subscribe down below so that you are notified anytime I release new video content. So today we are talking about property taxes. What do they look like in the Williamson County area? Specifically, we're going to be talking about areas like Franklin, which is inside of Williamson County. We are going to be doing a little bit of math. Now, I will give you a disclaimer. I do not expect you to take notes and start calculating property taxes for yourself, but I have had several people ask me, what do the property tax rates look like? So that's why we're gonna be talking about it. So as we start, I know that in other parts of the country, it's really easy to say, okay, well, you can expect your property taxes to be like 1% or 2% of your total purchase price. And the calculations here in the Middle Tennessee area are not that simple. So I'm gonna be giving you a couple of definitions, and then we're gonna be walking through how to actually calculate your property taxes. So settle in. I'm gonna try and make this as easy as possible, kind of like the bare bones basics, hopefully that it's digestible, easy to understand. And again, don't expect you to write all this down and start calculating stuff for yourself, but because people have asked me, I figured it was worth talking about. So let's go ahead and start diving in. So first things to know about property taxes. When you're looking at property taxes in Franklin, property taxes are going to be combined from a city tax rate and a county tax rate, and those added together is what's going to ultimately give you your total property tax. So how do you go about calculating your property tax? So let's take a look at what the equation is about how to calculate your property taxes. So your property taxes, you're gonna take your total tax appraisal amount, multiply that by 25%, which is the assessment ratio for residential properties. And then that calculation will give you your assessed value. Then you multiply your tax rate per 100 of your assessed value to get your tax amount. That's a mouthful, right? I told you it was not super cut and dry. Okay, so let's do some simple math that'll run it through the equation that's hopefully gonna make this make a little bit more sense, make it a little bit clearer versus just giving you that equation, which feels slightly convoluted. So let's say that your total tax appraisal amount comes in at $1 million. So you first take that $1 million and you multiply it by 25%. And that 25% is considered your assessment ratio, and for Williamson County, it's 25%. So you take your total tax appraisal amount of $1 million and you times it by 25%, which is your assessment ratio for residential. That's gonna give you $250,000. So that right there is your assessed value. Because a lot of times I tell people the assessed value plays a huge role in determining property taxes, but I know in other places the assessed value doesn't vary that much from the appraised value, so I understand where confusion could come in. So just know that in Tennessee, in Williamson County, your assessed value is gonna be 25% of what your total tax appraisal value is. And just so you know, that total tax appraisal value does not mean that's the actual appraised value of your home. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but just know that. Then you're gonna take that $250,000 and you're gonna divide it by 100. Because if you remember in the equation says that you wanna multiply your tax rate per 100 of your assessed value. So you first gotta take the assessed value, divide it by 100. So with $250,000, that's gonna come to $2,500. Now you take that $2,500 and you're gonna do two calculations with it. That $2,500 you're gonna first calculate against the city tax rate, and then you're gonna take that $2,500 and run it through the county tax rate, which will give you your two numbers, and those numbers together will give you your property taxes. So let's do a little bit more math. So in Franklin, your city tax rate is gonna be 0.3261. So you take that number, multiply it by 2,500, and that will give you $815.25. So we've got our city tax rate, but now we've got to go back and do the county tax rate. So again, you're gonna take that $2,500 and you're gonna multiply it by the county tax rate, which the current 2021 Williamson County tax rate is 1.88. So if you do 1.88 times the 2,500, that's gonna come to 4,700. Now, the last step of the process is taking that 4,700, adding it together with the 815.25, and that's gonna give you a total property tax of $5,515.25. So these are just some, I tried to make it as easy as possible when it comes to trying to figure this out. So hopefully that by doing the simple math, hopefully that gave you a little bit more clarity in terms of how property taxes are calculated. So on a property that has a tax appraisal value, right there at $1 million, you're looking at just over $5,500 in property taxes. Now here's the thing, county tax rates and city tax rates can fluctuate from year to year. So just know that could change. Also, each year you will be getting a new tax appraisal value. So that can also cause things to fluctuate. But here's what you need to know about the tax appraisal process. So they are gonna have an assessor come out and do the tax appraisal. Now, like I mentioned before, that's not necessarily gonna give you the most accurate appraisal value of your home, and here's why. So the assessor that comes out, they're gonna be looking and determining, the size of your house, and this is all done outside. They're not stepping foot inside your house, which is one of the big reasons why that a tax appraisal value can vary significantly from a true appraisal that takes place. So they are basically gonna be looking at the size of your home, if there's been any improvements on the land, and then they take that information back, they run it through a computer algorithm that incorporates other similar properties, and then it spits out a tax appraisal value. So there are a couple of flaws though when you're looking at that, because I know it's really easy for people to dig into tax records and be like, oh, well, it says my home is appraising for $750,000. But here's the thing, the tax assessor is not going to be stepping foot inside your home. They're not gonna know the improvements you've made. They aren't able in that algorithm to be able to calculate what's happening in the market. Right now we are seeing low supply, huge demand, which of course is driving home prices up. So just know that most likely your tax appraised value is going to be coming in shy of what your true appraised value would be. So again, that helps keep those property taxes on the lower end of things. So those are just some things to keep in mind. Now again, I do not expect anyone to take this equation and start calculating property taxes if you're wondering about certain properties as you're doing your online search. Here's the thing, if you are curious about certain properties, if you are curious about what the property taxes look like on those properties, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, because it is really easy and simple for me to jump into tax records, pull it on that property, and be able to give you a more accurate number. Because again, depending on when you see this video, it could be a different year. Tax rates could be a little bit different. So if you are ever curious, if you're looking at certain properties and you just want a general range of what you could expect with property taxes, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. If you are looking at moving to the Middle Tennessee area, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. All of my contact information is below, along with my Franklin relocation guide. My name is Caitlin Martin. I'll see you next time.